Are you guys ready to fly to Matsumoto? From Matsumoto, Japan, all the way to Tokyo. It's going to be a good flight. And it's a daylight in Japan, so it's perfect. You know, so it's like perfect time. When it's night here, it's daylight in Japan. I really want to explore more of Japan because I've been always stuck either flying in North America, you know, United States or Canada or Europe. I always felt like, man, it's time that I fly around Japan a little bit, you know. I want to fly in the places that I haven't flown before. And Japan is a beautiful, huge island. And there's so much beauty in this island. What's up, KJ? How you doing, man? 2 streams in one day. Yeah. I know. And a video. I think I uploaded a video earlier this morning. I've learned so much with this PC12. Not PC12. PC24. By the way, PC12 is also good. It's a single prop turbo engine, Pilatus. And I have it. I've been flying it for New Year's Eve for like 9 hours and 50 minutes. That was on New Year's Eve. PC12, I like it as a single prop turbo engine, and it's also designed by Pilatus, and everything they design, it's really good. But this is their creme de la creme, you know. PC12 is their best single prop turbo engine, although they do have a PC12 Pro, which I hope we'll see on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. All right, so let's go to Matsumoto. Matsumoto. It's going to be a beautiful flight, man. This beautiful lake over here by Shimusowa and Suwa and Okaya. And we're going to fly these beautiful mountains of Okutama. All the way to Tokyo. Tokyo Haneda. Haneda International. Hey, look, man, I'm trying to do the best I can. Maybe I should be in like maybe Hideo Kojima should hire me as a audio dub for like you know, Japanese, I don't know, English Japanese, I don't know, one of those anime Netflix TV show animes, you know. Oh, okay. Judah. Cinco. Hi. But they don't talk like that. Like a lot of people say no. Like if you look at Hideo, if you look at even the guy who worked on Kirby's Air Riders, they don't talk like that. That's just like the tough guys, the samurais, you know. Because a lot of people are samurais. They think Japan, they think samurai, I get it. But that's just the Western mind. It's just the American mind. You know, the American people have a version of Japan. It's either anime or samurai or yakuza. You know, but there's, you know, they don't all talk like that, you know. They talk, you know, in a nice, normal voice, you know. You know, it's like they're like angry, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But that's how we perceive it, you know, in Europe and here in America, you know, it's like they have to be angry samurais, you know. Yeah, it's not like that, you know. But, you know, these the anime has really kind of brought that, and video games have brought that. That angry voice, Hey, get off! It's like, it's not like that. Because they're trying to create emotion, all right? But, they speak normally, man. They don't have that angry voice, But in a anime and video games, sure, if you're playing Ninja Gaiden or if you're playing some sort of samurai, or a fighting game, whatever, sure. But they speak in normal, And like they're gonna talk normally. They're not gonna like yell at you, like unless they're pissed at you, Then they're gonna talk like it's like, then they're gonna talk like that. Anyway, let's go. Let's go to Matsumoto. I mean, if you look at Hideo Kojima, he talks normally. He doesn't talk like angry, like, oh, Metal Gear Solid, he's not like a. He just talks normally, man. But if your mindset of Japan is anime, samurai movies, Akira Kurosawa samurai movies and video games, then your mindset's going to be always in that, angry tone. Anyway, let's go. We're going to spend some more time looking at the Honeywell Primus and some of the features that are on there before we start taking off. Matsumoto. So we're going to take off from Matsumoto. I changed my livery. It's black and white. All right, there we go. Pilatus, PC24, black and white. Nice. Now, I got to change the name to Baba Yaga here, but, I'll do that later. Because I'm playing on a different PlayStation 5, and I forgot to change my call sign. I'll have to do that on this one as well. The Baba Yaga. Or maybe I should just put Mr. 4K, I like this black and white. It's pretty cool. Pilatus. Now, a lot of people wonder, what is this? Well, I will explain to you what this is. You see these little, let's just call them, little sticks poking out. Both of these two sticks, they're poking out. You know what this is? This is to heat up and keep the defrosting, to keep your engine defrosted. How do I know this? Well, because I did some research and I was, looking at what the Pilatus pilot was explaining when he was walking around, doing a walk around, right? He said basically the reason these things overheat, it's to keep de-icing, to defrost, your cockpit, your engine, to keep everything running. It's like a de-icing, defrosting. So you're basically de-icing, defrosting. Like a heater. You see, it says hot surface, do not spray liquid directly. Hot surface. Man, I learned everything there is to learn about this plane. Why? Here's the thing, man. KJNBA. When something interests me, I want to know. I want to learn. You know, I'm like Tom Cruise. If something interests me, I want to learn, dude. Keanu Reeves the same way. If he wants to learn about something, he learns. And I'm, am fascinated by Pilatus and PC-24 airplane. So I want to know everything there is to know about this plane, I don't think I'll never fly this plane in real life. I don't think I'll ever have the luxury. But I want to know, I want to learn, if something fascinates me, I want to know, like, what this plane can do, the features that it has, all of the above, and people who want to know, well, they can learn too. What is this? This is basically for you to see if your plane is stalling or not stalling. This picks up the wind, so and it can let you know whether or not your plane is not trimmed correctly, or if your plane is out of the trim zone, and you will see it on the Honeywell Primus, screen. It will let you know if it's leveled or not leveled, if it's out of the trim zone, and so that's what this probe is, And this, of course, is to keep your engine nice and hot, defrosted, de-ice. You don't want the ice. You want to defrost the ice, especially if you're flying in a winter time in areas where there's a cold wind and you're going in a high altitude, right? So you don't want the ice to be frost biting your nose, the tip of the nose of your plane. You don't want stuff to be out there on your cockpit as well, frost biting the cockpit. So this keeps it heated, like so. It defrosts the ice that gets picked up, and it can get picked up pretty easily if you are at a very high altitude where it's much cooler. The higher altitude, the cooler it gets. I'm sure you guys know that, right? Right. Okay, all right. Especially if you're like in, let's say, let's just use for one example, somewhere British Columbia or Alaska, right? Anchorage, north of Anchorage, right? And you're flying at high altitude in Alaska during the winter. So of course, you want to make sure that you have these heaters. They're basically two sticks that heat up and keep your plane defrosted, de-iced, defrosted. So that's what this is, those two sticks. In case you guys didn't know. But now you know, you see, you're learning something. Even KJNBA 25 had learned something just by clicking on this video, on this live stream. He's like, I'm not a pilot, but I just learned something from Mr. 40K about Pilatus PC-24. And this, of course, is a probe that's picking up the wind speed to let you know if you are trimmed correctly, right? So that way you're not stalling. It gives you the warning of stalling. If you're out of trim, keep the plane leveled on that, You enjoy watching videos on this game more than playing it. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But, even I'm learning, man. I don't want people to think I'm some, like, smart ass, even though people will always have their opinions no matter what. Even me opening my mouth, people will have their opinions about me, but I don't care. It's not me bragging. It's just, I have an interest on this plane. Even the CJ4, I want to know everything about the CJ4. Even the Cirrus Vision Jet G2, I want to learn about that plane as well. I just learned today that the Cirrus Vision Jet 2 has actually a parachute. How cool is that? So you can safely land. It's a very safe plane. And I want to learn about every plane. It's not just specifically this one. Now, currently I'm focused on this one. But, I want to learn about every plane. I have an interest. I want to know. What features does it have, et cetera, et cetera. How fast does it go? What are the positives and negatives? Things like that. So now the tires, these are low pressure tires. So they're really designed, they're like very low pressure tires, and they're good for like muddied terrain, grassy terrain, snowy terrain, right? And that's why they're low pressure tires. And you can see over here, on this side, you can see the way this jet engine is designed. It's designed in a way that when you are landing on a, like, let's say, muddied or snowy surface, or terrain that has, for example, maybe small little stones on the ground, and that stuff can bounce off of the wheel, and it can end up going into your jet engine. So this actually protects from it going to the jet engine. So the chances of anything going inside here when you land are zero. And you also got these protected, protected covers on the right side and left side. This also protects, the stones and small little stones and little tiny, particles or whatever it might be on the ground. Even if somebody threw a toy or a lighter or whatever, or any kind of object somebody might have thrown on one of these terrains, that you might be landing somewhere out there, middle of nowhere, you don't have to worry about that, flying out into your jet engine. This will protect it. Okay, now that I showed you a couple of things around this plane, I think it's time that we go inside. Let's go. All right, well, here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. All right, so first thing first, as always, everything about this plane is portrayed accurately, honestly. And if you look at the original version of this plane and you compare it to this version, you will see that everything is very identical. All right, so let's turn on the batteries. And one of the things that I like, as I said previously, everything is here. Look at this, man. Everything's right above you. You don't have to look around, unlike other airplanes where it's kind of like all over the place, right? You're looking for electrical systems and they're like somewhere hidden down there. Like a good example, like the CJ4 Citation. On a CJ4 Citation, the electrical systems are like down here, man, somewhere like in nowhere land, and you have to look for it, right? And then the hydraulics and the fuel pumps, like they're like over here somewhere. Everything is like all over the place. Here, everything is here for you. You know what I mean? You never have to like wander around It's really like a, I call this plane like a mixture of Tesla and Volvo. It's like a luxury Tesla and Volvo. Volvo meaning it's safe, and Tesla meaning that it's more advanced and modern, futuristic, and has a lot of cool advantages. Which this plane does have those advantages because it's a very versatile plane. It can be transformed. Like I said, these carpets here. Why do you think they're cut out like this? They're cut out like this to be peeled off. You can peel them off. This carpet is designed to be peeled off, to be removed, and then put back together. Okay? It's designed of such material for you to be able to do that. And now you're probably asking, well, why did they design it like that? They designed it like that so that way you can transform this plane either a VIP passenger or just a cargo. Right. I was using one example, like, okay, let's say Keanu Reeves, he's got an Arch motorcycle company, right? And he's got a lot of motorcycles. Well, don't you think it would be pretty cool for him to store all of his motorcycles here and take those motorcycles with him anywhere he goes, right? That's what I would do. It's like if I had Arch motorcycles, like, hey man, I want to bring my motorcycles with me, and especially if I had $200 million like he does. If I was rich like he was rich, sure, why not? Yeah. So you can transform this. It doesn't have to be motorcycles. It could be whatever, dude. Whatever you want to, whatever cargo you want to put in there. So that's what makes it unique, is that you have all this extra space to put whatever you want to put in here. Not to mention that you can carry 11 passengers. Right? 11 passengers. Believe me, you can rearrange these seats even. You can make this is a VIP for now, but you can have 11. You can have 11 seats. You can remove this and this. You see, why do you think they made a window here? They made a window here for a reason. So you can have more passengers. Okay? So you can have more passengers here too. You can put some more chairs. This is a very transformable plane. You can transform this into so many different variations. You can have cargo, 11 passengers, and not to mention that this plane, it's very fast, 440 knots. It can go up to 45,000 high altitude, and it can stop on a very short runways on top of that. All right, so like I said, the very first thing that I liked about this plane in the beginning was, wow, everything's here for me, right? I can easily just turn on my electrical, the batteries, generator 1, battery 2, generator 3, turn it on. There it is. It's already turning on, right? I can turn on my external power GPU. Now the other monitors will turn on as well. And then here, I can turn on my engine, the left engine, to run right away. Everything's there for me, dude. Everything. I don't have to look around for anything else. This is the convenience. What I'm trying to say, it's a convenience about this airplane, KJ NBA 25. The convenience that you have that other airplanes don't. Other airplanes, man, you have to look all over the place to turn the switches on, right? Here, everything is here for you, right above you, dude. It's right there.
Taxi to and hold short runway 18 via taxiway Sierra. Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform.
There we go. The engines are starting. Turn on the switch. the pulse landing, taxi, turn that on. All right, as you can see, everything's turned on. All right, and here we have our barometric pressure here. Let's turn on the flight director. What is the flight director? Flight director is when you turn on your autopilot so you can see this little pink arrow. It shows you exactly where the autopilot is navigating, where it's going, right? And here you can see your jet engine starting. I think on this side we can adjust. Hold on, let me see. Traffic, weather. Hold on a second. Trying to, I'm using my thumbstick to do this, so it's a little bit tricky. Obviously, with the mouse, this would be much easier. Hold on, let's see. Can adjust the range. Do the same thing here. Adjust the range. Look at the weather. Hold on. Oh, it is a touchscreen. Oh well, I'll be. It is a touchscreen. Oh my god, that's awesome. I just realized that it was a touchscreen. Oh, that's even better, dude. That's even better, dude. Let me see if I can look at the range here. If I can adjust it. Yeah, we can adjust that there. I'm just double checking, making sure everything's working. All right. Everything's good. Here you can adjust the panel's light. You want to make sure your panels are bright so you can see. Right, see, right here. I was looking for my barometric pressure so I can see it. All right. Things good. Looking good here. Select the altitude. Sorry, I don't want to, keep you guys bored with all the technicality. I don't want to geek out. Because there's more to this Honeywell Primus operating system, but I don't want to, spend like 40 minutes going through everything on the Honeywell Primus, because there's a lot of cool features you can do on the Honeywell Primus. You can check the weather, you can, check some other cool features. Maybe for like a separate video I can do that. What is a Honeywell? Honeywell Primus is this operating system. Every airplane has its own like panels operating systems. And this one is called Honeywell Primus. That's what you're seeing here. Okay. This is like the nearest airport. You can look and see where it is when you're flying. You can click on it. Zoom out, zoom in. It's all touch screen. You can remove it. Hold on. Hold on a second. If you guys don't mind, just give me a couple of minutes. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. I can remove the nearest airport display. I don't know, for some reason, my controller is not responding. Hold on. Give me a second. All right, that's fine. The nearest airport will stay there. That's fine. I can remove it. I've been trying to remove it. I can't. Even though it's a touch screen, but for some reason, hold on, it's not responding. And what I'm talking about is the nearest airport. It's this display that shows up on the screen. Usually type in, the nearest airport, and then you can find it on the map. But that's okay. We'll just leave it on. It's no problem. Yeah. I can still see. All right, so now that we have everything turned on, I think it's time for us to take off. Do we need any passengers? We're not going to be carrying any passengers today. We're just going to be flying and enjoy the beauty of Japan. All right, so now that everything's turned on, let's select the altitude. Okay, the altitude. We already did 7,000 feet. Right, I think we're good to go here. Let me just double check everything. Just make sure. All right. All is looking good. Let's just double check with pilot. Let's look at the ATC. Taxi to and hold short runway 18 via taxiway. All right, and then once we get there, taxiway S. I guess we're going to the taxiway S. And once we get there, oh, it's a runway 18, I'm sorry. Runway 18, I'm sorry. Runway 18 via taxiway. Taxiway is the S, and the runway is the 18, but the taxiway it's S. S. Contact tower 125.6 when we get there. All right, cool. All right, so the only thing left for me to do is just check the flight planner, make sure that everything's good to go here. You know what? We'll have the passengers with us. Why not? It's okay. Since I'm already, on the tablet here, might as well load immediately. Go back to flight planner and route, flight planner and route. Okay. All right. Well, that's taken care of. Passengers are here. They need to do a better job with the passengers. I mean, come on. Microsoft, Asobo. Can't you just, put some effort, like creating these, like with all the money that they made with this game? I mean, seriously, come on. I have seen mobile games have better characters. No offense. I'm just saying. It's not a big deal. I mean, the main point of this game simulator is to fly. It's the airplane. But still, I'm like, is there any way you could maybe make these characters look more realistic? Just saying. But anyway, it's not a big deal. Okay. I think we're good. Let's go. Around to the left. It's a beautiful day in Japan. We have to go all the way down there. We're in Matsumoto Airport. Matsumoto. Runway 18. We still need a clearance. Take off. Okay. Get the clearance. All right, my lovely co-pilot. Okay. You know what to do. She's so beautiful. Look, she heard me. She heard me say it. I gotta change my call sign to Baba Yaga 79. You know what? I will have my call sign. You know, I should call it John Wick Returns. John Wick Returns. John Wick Returns. There you go. There you go. John Wick Returns. But I'll do that later. I can't do it right now. All right, we are ready for. We are ready to take off. Yeah, we're ready to take off. We're ready. Okay. We are ready, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to take off. We're flying over Japan. I love Japan. Don't you love Japan? I do. Here we go. It's been a while. I don't like doing Heath Ledger Joker too much out of respect. You know what it is? It's like because we have the same birthday in the same month and same year. We were born in same year, same month. So it's kind of like, I don't know, you know. I don't like doing, that's why you don't see me doing Heath Ledger Joker too much. Okay, let's go. Okay, we're ready to take off. And here we go. Slowly. Matsumoto. Matsumoto. Beautiful Matsumoto. And why so serious? Here we go. We're taking off from Matsumoto. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're already at the 130, 140 knots. More than enough for us to take off. Just like that. Gears up, flaps up. This is lovely. We need to gain some more altitude. I don't want to go too fast because I want this trip to be enjoyable. I want you guys to enjoy this trip, you know. We're at 250 knots right now. Because I want this to be an enjoyable enjoyable flight, so you can see, you know. How beautiful Japan is. We're going at 230 knots. You can go a little bit higher altitude, you know. I think we'll have to, because there's mountains coming up. So this is Matsumoto. I can turn this off if it bothers you. I usually use this when I'm like landing, but I can still see it, you know, on the radar. I can see exactly where I need to go. But it's good to have it for like landing. The waypoint can be very useful to show you where you need to go. Like a trajectory. The flight plan trajectory. Beautiful Japan. I think there was an update, a scenery update for Japan. It's free. It was released on Asobo's marketplace. Or what do they call it? Do they call it Asobo's market? Not Asobo's marketplace. Microsoft Flight Simulator marketplace. But it's the Asobo. It's the same thing. I call it Asobo's marketplace. Because they're the ones that created this game. Yeah, I know that Microsoft gave the money, right? The resources, but the Asobo is the one. But I guess correct way to say it is the Microsoft marketplace, right? Not the Asobo's marketplace. Anyway, I saw it. Let's just call it the Asobo's marketplace. I saw it on the Asobo's marketplace, and it's free. You can download it and update your scenery. Actually, the correct term to use, it's Microsoft Flight Simulator Store. That's what it is. It's a Microsoft Flight Simulator Store, which makes total sense, because you're buying stuff for, you know, Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's beautiful. We should take a photo. these mountains. So many mountains, so many samurai battles down here. It's a beautiful country, it really is. And I felt like, well, I haven't flown to Japan that much. And what I'm trying to do with these live streams, I'm trying to fly to places that I have not flown before, you know? Because I don't want to just fly to the same old boring flights that I've done, you know? I want to discover new places. The places that I've never been. You know, that's the whole idea. Switzerland was really amazing. Like flying in Switzerland for New Year's Eve with a PC-12, which is Pilatus PC-12, was really amazing. Okay. Hold on, let me adjust the heading. Heading to 354 degrees. And I'm really purposely flying low because that's the whole point. I want you to see just how beautiful everything is. Keep in mind we're on a PlayStation 5. What is the heading? The heading is the degree. How many degrees you want to go to the left? How many degrees you want to go to the right? So which headings are you going? Heading this many degrees, you heading to the left, or this many degrees you're heading to the right? That's what heading is. You hear on ATC they say, oh, okay, turn your heading to 342 or 364 degrees altitude, whatever. You know, 3,000 feet, 4,000 feet, 5,000 feet, whatever the case might be. I don't know. You hear that on the ATC, right? Radio chatter when they're chatting on the radio. You can also use speed brake. Sometimes I use speed brake 50% just to. Because, you know, this jet plane can really go accelerate fast. And I do mean really fast. So I don't want to go 350 knots. You know, I want to have a enjoyable flight. So I slow down my speed. See, we're already like at 300 knots. We want to go down to 200 knots. Not going anything above 200. I need to get in line with our trajectory. So I'm going to move to the right a little bit, just to line up with our trajectory. The scenery is pretty good, man. Wow, we're almost there. Dude, we're almost at Tokyo. Oh my god, this plane's so fast. I just realized we're almost at Tokyo. Wow, my god. Jesus. Because I was going 300 knots. But I think I was going 350 knots. When you're going 350 knots, you know, at this kind of speed, you know what I mean? You'll get there quicker. I just realized we're halfway there to Tokyo from Matsumoto. But we did go fast, you know. I just realized I was going 250 knots from Matsumoto. Yokota. What does the AB stands for? Air Base. Yokota Air Base. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it stands for. AB, Yokota AB Air Base. Tachikawa. It's a small little airport, probably executive airport, private little airport, executive. And before you know it, we're in Tokyo. Wow. This looks beautiful. Before you know it, we are in Tokyo. A bunch of airports here at Chofu. Tokyo, you can see it. I do have to get in touch with the ATC. See? So I get the approach. They know I'm coming. There's Tokyo. Tokyo Tower. We'll take one more photo. Tokyo Haneda. Oh, this will be smooth. This will be buttery smooth. As always, Tokyo Haneda International. There we go. Buttery smooth. The engine, it's completely almost completely turned off. We're just kind of gliding right now. We're slowing down our speed. Hold on. Oh shit, there's an yo. What the hell, dude?
Tokyo Tower, Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo.
I had to land over here, dude. There was an airplane over there. Jesus. What in the world?
Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform. Contact ground on 118.225.
118.225. Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform.
Dude, what was that? What in the world was that? You gotta be kidding me, dude. I had no choice.
Continue taxi.
Tokyo ground, Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo uniform. Request taxi to parking.
Pilatus Hotel Bravo Victor Romeo uniform. Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway. Charlie 6 Charlie Echo 7 Echo 8.
Hold on, let me get the taxi clearance.
Taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie 6 Charlie Echo 7 Echo 8. Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform. Roger, all upon 535.
Like, I had no choice, man. There was, look. There was airplanes, dude, taking... There was an airplane on a runway. Like, I had no choice. Jesus. Like, I had no choice. If I landed on a runway, dude, I would have crashed directly into that airplane, that commercial airliner that was there. Like, why didn't ATC say anything, dude? Like, the ATC should have said something. They didn't say anything. Like, I didn't even see the, yeah, well, you should have told me that earlier, that there was a Boeing 767 on a runway. I think the AI, you know, the thing with the AI in this game, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but you can't really rely on it. If you rewind this, like 5 minutes earlier, and if you look at it from 5 minutes earlier, you will see that I had no choice. Like, I had to, like, land on the grass to avoid the collision with that 767, that airliner that was on a runway. Even though nothing would happen, I would have just go through him like a ghost. But, you know, I want to treat this as like a realistic experience. Even though I know nothing would have happened. Even if I landed on a landing strip, I would have just go through the Boeing 767. But I was treating this as if it was real. Like, hey man, there's a Boeing 767 on a runway, and I'm supposed to land, and I'm about to land. There will be a collision. I don't want to have any collisions, crashes on the runway. So I think I'm a hero. Listen, I am a hero. I am a hero to these people. You guys need to understand. I am a hero. I saved them. See? How do you say in Japanese thank you? Oh, this guy was a Yakuza, he says. He says it would not be good. Listen, the collision will never happen, not on my watch. All right, sir? You can tell the Yakuza clan when Baba Yaga is flying, and when John Wick is flying, don't worry. I got us here safely, didn't I? That's right. So you tell the Yakuza family, everything's good. Yes, hi, good. There would have been a collision if I didn't land on the grass. And it's funny because I didn't see the plane. Like the Boeing 767 just all of a sudden showed up on a runway. Like it just magically appeared. I was like, what? It was kind of weird. I am taxiing. Why am I Indonesia? I want to. What the hell's going on? All types of crazy. Listen, look at what's going on. Look at these airplanes. They're all. What in the world? Let me take a photo. What in the world? Yo, this is why you can't trust AI. You want to trust AI? This is what happens. You will have collisions. You will have crashes. Nothing good will come out of it. You cannot trust AI. Listen. They're already making commercials out of artificial intelligence. It's disgusting. And it feels so, like it has no soul. I was looking at some of these commercials where people are using generated AI. It looks real, photorealistic, but you know it's fake. You know that it's fake and it's generic and it has no soul. Yeah, man. Artificial intelligence. I'm not a fan. I'll tell you right now. I'm not a big fan of AI. I'm telling you right now. And if you think that the AI will not, then you're putting too much faith in AI. I would never put too much faith in something that doesn't have a soul, doesn't have a spirit, and it's programmed like a robot. It will malfunction. There will be malfunction. You don't think so? Oh, sure it will. There's so much about AI I don't like. It's just a bad news, man, honestly. What the hell's going on? Look at this. Where is it taking me? What the? This is AI. Look where it's taking me. What the? Look where it's taking me. What the? See, this is why you cannot trust AI. You can't. All right, that's better. Jeez. Okay, we won't be needing the ATC anymore. You see? You can't trust the AI. Look what's going on. Look at this.
Pilatus Victor Romeo uniform. Hold position. Caution the Boeing 767 on the taxiway.
You telling me now what I can see with my own two eyes. This is why you cannot trust AI, okay? You want to trust AI? Here's what happens.
Continue taxi.
This is the kind of nonsense. You see? See what happens? See what happens? When you trust AI. This is the kind of collision nonsense that you're going to have. Just like when I was about to land. ATC AI didn't say nothing about a 767 being on a runway, and I had to move to the left to land on the grass. Otherwise, I would have crashed into the 767, and it would have been a collision. And it would have been a disaster, tragedy. But we avoided a tragedy thanks to me. Yes. The best pilot in a planet of humanoids. Planet of humanoids. There you go. So you want to trust AI, huh? You want to trust the artificial intelligence? Yeah, he did warn me, but it warned me it was too late. I can already see the Boeing 767 with my own two eyes. I don't need you to tell me the obvious. You know? But anyway. Come on. There we go. How far are the taxis? You gotta be kidding me. My God, they're making me go all the way up here. Oh my God. It's like a road trip. It's not a taxi. This is a road trip. It's a road trip. It's a road trip. Yo, dude. What the hell? Oh my God. Yo, this is turning into a road trip. Seriously, AI, artificial intelligence. What in the world? Jesus Christ. This is a road trip. It's a road trip. God. This is a huge airport. I didn't realize Tokyo International. This is huge, man. This is a huge airport. My God. Tokyo Haneda International. Say Tokyo Haneda. And that's it. Okay, are we good? Right here? Tokyo Haneda. There we go. I think we're good. Maybe a little bit more. Just a little more. I think that's good. I think it's good enough. It's good enough. Oh my God. Wow. All right, I hope. Let me talk to my passengers. I hope everybody had a good flight. I know landing was a little bit tricky, but that wasn't my fault. That was the AI's fault. But the point being is, I repeat, point being is, I made it safely, you know? So y'all can watch the latest season of Squid Game, alright? Green light, red light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light, green light, red light. Alright? So, we made it safely. And, yeah, we're good. We're good. Thanks to me. No thanks to AI. You see, you cannot trust AI. One lesson you have learned on this live stream. You cannot trust AI. Don't trust AI. Don't trust it. Okay? Because it will make mistakes. It will malfunction. Alright, so we're good. That's it. What are you guys waiting for? Don't you want to go and watch the Squid Game on Netflix? I mean, come on. Huh? Squid Game, Friday night. Come on. Huh? All right. Well, thank you. And you can tell the Yakuza, you are safe. You made it safely. All right? So, we good, huh? We good. Hi, yes. We good? All right. He was a little bit worried because, he didn't like the fact that the landing was not successful. Well, sir, landing is successful. I avoided collision with another airplane. It was my fault. It was the ATC's AI's fault. They didn't tell me about that. 767 on a runway. So I avoided it, sir, and I saved us. I saved everybody. So you're welcome. All right. I, Baba Yaga, saved your Yakuza's ass. So you tell your Yakuza boss that I, Baba Yaga, saved his Yakuza's ass. And your ass too, by landing here. And your associates over here. All of them. I saved your asses. You're welcome. I mean, he did. John Wick saved everyone's asses, all right? Even my lovely co-pilot. But of course, I'll do anything for my lovely co-pilot. Here we go. We good. See? Even Tom Cruise is jealous. He can't believe, like, damn, this guy's good. That's right, I am. The good, it's understatement. Even the best, it's understatement. What you should be calling me, Tom, is the chosen one. Yeah, the chosen one. That's it. Yeah, we made it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So it was a good flight, It was a good flight, right? That's it. We made it. It was about like a 2-hour flight, right? From Matsumoto to Tokyo. 2 hours. Yeah, 2-hour flight. Yeah. Was it really a 2-hour flight? More like a 1 hour and 30 minutes. Because we spent half an hour just going around the plane. I was explaining to you all the features that the plane has. Yeah. So it was about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Which is about correct. When you're going turn to 50 knots, at that kind of speed, turn to 50 knots, right? Yeah, hour and a half. So it's all good. Yeah, all good. We made it. Hey, things good. We're in Tokyo. Tokyo, Haneda. Tokyo, Haneda. Haneda. International. And, oh, wait a minute. My passengers, that's right. They need to leave. My passengers need to leave, that's right. I almost forgot about that. They need to go home, watch the Squid Game. I don't know which season it's on right now. Anyway, I should be watching Squid Game too. All right, guys. Well, you made it for a red light, green light, red light, green light. All right, so. All right, let me. Go over here. All right, and. Go over here to configure, and that's it. They get to leave. All right. All right. Thank you for flying with Baba Yaga. What? I said you guys got to go. You guys got to leave. What's the problem? Don't you want to go watch Squid Game? There you go. Now you can go watch Squid Game. Red light, green light. See, it's all good. That's it. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another successful flight with Pilatus PC-24. I love Pilatus. I love this plane. I really do. I know there's others airplanes, and I know people telling me, oh, you should try, citations, Cessna Citation, Longitude. Yeah, I've flown the Longitude, but that was in 2020 version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. I know there's a 2024 version of Longitude. People say you need to try it. Maybe in the future, but right now, I'm happy with the PC-24. I even with the CJ4, I'm happy, and with the PC-12 and Cirrus Vision Jet G2, Cirrus Vision Jet G2. I just find out that with Cirrus Vision Jet G2, it actually has a parachute, giant parachute in case of an emergency. Let's say you run out of fuel or your jet engine starts responding, and well, guess what? You can turn on the emergency parachute, and no matter where you land, the ATC will be able to see where you are. They're going to send, the rescue team to check on you to see if you're okay, and the plane will land safely, and you'll be able to get out of the plane and wait for the fire rescue and, pick you up, check you out, make sure you're okay. That's how safe the Cirrus Vision Jet G2 is. You learn so much about these planes. You really do. We already talked about this, what this is. This is a heater to keep your, engine nice and warm so it doesn't get iced. So it's basically you defrosting the frostbite on the engine. So this is de-icing. It even says right here, hot surface, do not spray liquid directly. It really melts the ice. That's what this basically does. It's de-icing. And if you come here, you'll see it right here. Right? There it is. Windshield de-ice, right? You could turn it to high. I usually keep it to auto high, right? And then, of course, here, it's on both sides. I think they have these on both sides, yeah. I don't mean your engine. Your engine's in the back, I'm sorry. I'm talking about keeps this, the radar system and everything, and your cockpit keeps everything hot. So that way, you don't have the frostbite icing on the cockpit. So this is de-icing is what this is, right? That's what this is. It's very hot, super hot. This thing heats up really, really hot, but it keeps everything defrosted. Now your engine, don't worry, has its own, defrosting in there that's built in, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. So don't worry about this. So that's what this is. Because a lot of people are like wondering, even I was wondering, like, what the hell is this? What is this? It's not an antenna, okay? This is used, this heats up pretty much, and it heats up to keep your cockpit de-iced. Like vanilla ice, don't blink twice, roll the dice, de-ice, and you de-ice with this de-icing right here. That's what this is. It's defrosting, de-icing the ice on the windshield, the cockpit windshield. And here you can select it. I usually keep it on auto high right here, windshield de-ice. There it is. And that's how that works. Okay? So now you know what this is. Okay? It even says, hot surface, do not spray liquid directly. It's very hot. But it keeps your cockpit nice and defrost and de-iced. No ice on there, no frost bites on the windshield. Everything looks wonderful. Especially if you are like flying like in a very like cold areas, right? Let's say in Canada, Montreal, or Alaska, right? Let's just say Montreal and during the winter, like this time of year, and you're flying in a high altitude, and it's the wind that's even more cooler, right? So you want to make sure that your windshield is de-iced and everything, it's nice and defrosted, so you don't have to worry about any ice on the windshield. Yeah. Even I didn't know what this was, but I was watching a YouTube video of one of the pilots of Pilatus, and he says that's what this is, pretty much. I don't know what they call it specifically, but I just know what it does. That's what it does. It heats very hot. This thing is, you do not touch this. Do not touch. This thing is super hot. Only if you turn it on, right? If you turn it on, and it will keep your windshield nice and clear, defrosted, so no frost bites on the windshield, no icing on the windshield. They have the same thing for the wings. It's built inside, I think, to keep your wings also nice and hot. And this is, I believe, if I remember correctly, hold on. This is where the LED lights are, obviously, underneath. This is your cargo. Press the button to lower the cargo door. This only works when you select cargo variation. This doesn't work with a VIP, only when you select cargo. There's different variations of this plane that you can choose in the game. I chose VIP, but there's also obviously cargo and VIP. Meaning you can have both VIP, a little bit of VIP seats, and then the cargo in the back. All right, well, there you have it. I mean, that's it. That's Pilatus. I believe this is where I think that's where you put the fuel. This is a fuel tank. Even tells you the, you know, how many gallons can you put of fuel. Jettison fuel. I think it's right here. This is where you. This is like your fuel tank, where you store the fuel. You open this up, and that's where the fuel goes. It's pretty big. It's pretty large, as you can see. You know. See? This is where you can store all the fuel. But it's also scary knowing how much fuel there is, right? Right underneath you. And you're sitting on this flammable fuel, this jettison fuel, right? You think about that sometimes. You're like, oh my God, you know, all this fuel, jettison fuel underneath me, right? And that's where you store your fuel, here. Yeah. It's on this side. On this side, right here. Yeah, it's plenty of fuel tank here. How do I know all of this? Like I said, I was watching. Yeah, this is where your fuel tank is. I was watching this guy explain all of this in great detail. One of the pilots from Pilatus. Caution. Heated probe. And we talked about this. What this is, basically, this is a. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this. This is basically a. Yeah, this right here. Right here. Is it right here? If I can remember what he. Isn't no, this is still the icing. This is the icing. 1, 2, 3. This is the icing. On this side, also defrosting, you know, your windshield. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. This. This is basically what he said. It's a device that picks up the, a sensor. It's like a sensor that picks up the trimming of your plane. Is it leveled up or is it out of trim? Is it above the trim line? Is it within the trim line? To see if you're going to stall. So it's basically to detect any stalling, if you're going to stall, right? And this is like a sensor that detects the stalling. So if you have a warning sign that says stall, then you need to adjust your speed. You need to trim your plane correctly, right? So that's what this basically is. It's on both sides, one here and one over here. There's another one. Where was it? Let me see. Yeah, it's just this one on this side. I'm sorry. This is all just for defrosting. This is just de-icing defrosting. This is what's used for detecting your stall. Your stall, meaning you're losing control of the trim and you going nose down. You're spinning around. So this is like a detector that detects if you're about to stall, so you can align your plane within the trim and trim it. Right, there's a trimmer right here. Should be right here. The trim right there. Rudder trims, right? And all your trims are here. Trim. Trimmer up, down. I usually have my trimmer set to automatic, so it automatically trims, right? And the beauty about this plane is you can set the trimming to automatic, and that's what I do. I select trimmer to automatic. Yeah. These are your flaps. These are your rudder trims. You can do it manually, right? Or you can do it automatically. Alignment trim, pitch trim, right? I think there is a way to do it automatically. I think so. It's just not sure if it's possible on this. You know what? Let me try something. Let me turn on the plane really quick. Just want to see something.
Eva 1901, continue taxi. All Nippon 589er, hold position. Caution the departing Boeing B777.
So here's the way it works.
Eva 1901, acknowledge last transmission.
Your trimmer will automatically, obviously, if you keep it at 0 degree, it'll automatically line up to that, horizontal line, meaning this line, all right? It'll trim, okay, to this horizontal line automatically. But if you have a warning sign that says, hey, you know, stalling, and if you feel like you're stalling, you can add a little bit of speed, and you can always manually adjust the trim to go a little bit higher. Let's say you're losing your control and you're stalling, and you can give a little bit of a thrust and pull the plane up and just adjust the trimmer, go a little bit higher, you know, a few degrees higher, just to help you go a little bit higher and pick up the altitude, so that way you're not falling down, right? So that's when you use this to help you. Yeah. From what I understand, what the guy was explaining, you know, this is what I was told from that title, that video. Like, it will automatically align on that horizontal line, but if for some reason you're still losing your control and you're stalling and you feel like you're falling down, then you can give a little bit of thrust. You know what I mean? Give a little bit of thrust. And then pull up the yoke up, and then adjust the trimmer. To go a little bit higher. Try to, you know, get to that certain altitude, then try to keep the plane aligned within the horizon. Meaning horizon. This horizon right here. Okay? This right here. And that's what this is. It's like a sensor that picks up when you are out of the trim. When you are out of the trim, so that way you know that you're stalling. You're going to be stalling if you're not trimmed correctly. You will eventually stall, and this thing will remind you, hey, you're out of the trim zone, you know, trim your plane within that line so you don't stall. But this thing will remind you. It's going to be blinking, stall, warning, stall. So that's what this is. It's a sensor that will let you know if you're stalling. I just find it fascinating to learn about, like, the functions of the plane. I mean, I'm not a pilot, but, you know, I'm just a curious, you know, individual. I'm curious. I would like to know how something works. Like, how do you make this work, you know, right? How does a locomotive works, you know? Things like that. I like to know how things work. I'm fascinated by learning how something works. It's the same thing with the airplanes. I like to know how it works. And, you know, the best way to learn, you should go straight to the source. That's what I did. I went straight to the Pilatus YouTube channel, and, like, they explained everything. You know? They tell you everything, like, what everything does, and they go in great detail, man, about this plane. But look, it's not just this plane that I'm learning. I did the same thing for CJ4, learning about the CJ4, Cessna CJ4 Citation. I did the same thing for PC-12, you know, which is another Pilatus airplane, but it's a single prop single prop turbo engine Pilatus. And then I did the same thing for Cirrus Vision Jet G2. Like I said, today I find out that with Cirrus Vision Jet G2, Cirrus Vision Jet G2, you can actually have a parachute. It has a stored parachute on the top, a giant parachute. It's a huge parachute that opens up in case of the emergency. So that way, it's like, you know, when they send, when they were parachuting that rover on Mars. It's kind of like the same thing. The way, you know, the module comes down with a parachute and landed on Mars safely. So the Cirrus Vision Jet G2 actually has a parachute in case of the emergency, which I think it's great. You know, that's a real good safety right there, man. That tells you, hey, at least I will be safe. You know, the plane will land wherever it lands, and hopefully it doesn't land somewhere in the forest, you know, with the trees. But either way, you have a better chances of survival, right? Instead of the plane just falling down and crashing at a high rate of speed. So, you know, you can find an area where it's an open field, and then you just pull up the emergency and the parachute opens up and you can safely land on that field. And then the fire rescue police will come in and they'll check on you. They'll, you know, rescue you, and that's it. And you're good to go. I didn't know that about the Cirrus Vision Jet G2. I found out today about that. I was like, dude, that's a real Volvo of safe planes, bro. So Vision Jet, Cirrus G2 Vision Jet, it's probably the safest plane, dude, because of that ability that it has with a parachute. And I didn't know that until like today. I was watching the video. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. So that's pretty amazing. All right, let's turn it off. Turn it off. Generator off. Battery off. I mean, generator 1 off. Battery 1 off. Battery 2 off. Generator 2 off. 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 Are we good? Thought I turned it off. What's the issue here? Generator 1, it's off. Battery off. Battery 2 off. Generator 2 is off. Thought I turned it off. There you go.